Hey guys, so this video might be a little bit out of my realm. I know I step outside of just the short films. Trust me, a few more are coming. But wanted to go over something that I am passionate about with GTA 6. I like guns, a lot of guns. I have guns, airsoft replica ones specifically, but I enjoy talking about firearms and stuff. So I just want to go over it because I've seen a lot of videos where they're just not exactly accurate. So on with the video. Sorry for this very long intro. So this is not going in any particular order either. So I'm just going to start with the screenshots that just appear on my camera roll. So starting off with the cover art, Jason appears to be wielding a M9 Beretta, specifically a 92FS, and Lucia appears to be holding a Glock style handgun, looking similar to a Glock 17. Nothing immediately jumps out to me, especially with how they are modeled, even though this is artwork. They do appear in-game, specifically in the trailers, so I expect them to be pretty early, unlock weapons. It appears that Jason utilizes the M9 Beretta a lot, and then Lucia utilizes a Glock 17. Don't know how that's going to tie into her character, but Jason in the overarching GTA 6 lore so far that we've kind of inferred, or the community's inferred, is that he was a former U.S. Army Ranger. The U.S. Army used to utilize the M9 a lot until it was replaced by the M17 and M18 in 2017 through the MHS program. Moving on, in this original screenshot, he is wielding the pistol from GTA 5. This is artwork, and clearly the pistol is not in the GTA 6 at all. Like the pistol from GTA 5, which used to be based off of the PT92 Taurus. But it does not appear to be in GTA 6. I'm pretty sure Rockstar and the modelers and artists and stuff, they replaced it with the M9 Beretta to fit Jason's character better, because the Taurus PT92 and specifically other versions like the PT92AF were not adopted by the U.S. military. They are it is a Brazilian manufactured handgun, and they're also known to not be the most reliable, so it just really doesn't fit in GTA 6 if they are going to take this more realistic approach with it. So I think this is a good change, switching the PT92 to the M9 for Jason's character and also just GTA 6 as a whole. So in this next image, not super familiar with civilian handguns. I can tell this is a Bersa 380, which I think is a good addition. Feel like this does tie into Lucia's character a little bit. It could be just more of a concealed weapon she just carries personally instead of just the Glock 17. 380 is a pretty low power cartridge, so it's good for this role. And this other artwork image, we also see another Bersa 380 pistol. Also, this is artwork, so it can be subject to change, just like the pistol, or the GTA 5 pistol and the other images. I'm not too familiar with revolvers, but this is a scoped revolver. Revolver model, I'm not too sure. It could be anything from a Smith & Wesson to a Colt. It does look like a .44 Magnum rather than a Smith & Wesson 500 Magnum or a 357, just because of like how large the revolver itself is. In this screenshot, they appear to both be carrying Bersa 380 handguns, showing terrible trigger discipline as well, but pretty much it. I'm pretty sure it's confirmed then that the Bersa 380 is in the game, but just like in GTA 4 with one of the Zavista AK-style rifles, it did not make it into the game. So there's potential that it makes it into the game. I would count on it because it appears to be highly detailed and highly modeled. Half the screen is black. I apologize, but this is also just another image of a M9 Beretta. And Jason is holding it, so not super familiar with Macs, so I believe this is a Mac 11. It could be a Mac 10. I am not super sure, but it is a Mac submachine gun. with a finish on it from GTA Vice City. Here's the Beretta M9 again. Again, might be a 92 FS, depending if they really want to make it accurate to Jason being in the U.S. Army Rangers. And a B&T APC 9K. I've seen people call this an MP9, and that's not what that is. But it is a B&T APC 9K submachine gun that actually the U.S. Army uses alongside the MPX, the Sig Sauer MPX. This is another screenshot with the Bersa 380 and also the Mac 10 or Mac 11 that was featured in the other images before, so not really much to comment on. Actually, and they're also actually showing trigger discipline in this screenshot as well, which I like. This picture of Jason robbing a store, he also appears to just also be holding a regular M9 Beretta or 92 FS. Not super familiar with revolvers, like I said before, but this appears to be a Smith & Wesson model revolver, maybe a 529, rather than a Colt revolver like Jason's potentially is. This is, again, another screenshot of Jason's revolver. Again, it does have a scope attached to it, which, God, eye relief would be a nightmare. But, yeah, this also, again, appears to be either a Colt or Smith & Wesson. I'm now starting to lean a little more towards Smith & Wesson, because there does appear to be a Colt Python in the game later down the line, and I'll get to that later. Again, we see Jason here with a M9 Beretta, or, again, potentially a 92 FS, again, depending on how far they take it. I keep reiterating this because he carries the M9 a lot. I have seen people online call this an M16. That's just an M4A1. I'm assuming it's the A1 variant because I don't think Rockstar's going to implement a burst fire feature for the M4. So, yeah. This is just a regular M4 with a clamshell handguard, the carry handle still attached, and a LE mill stock. This is what appears to be a screenshot of just Lucia hiding behind a door or something with a Glock 17, and then the officer searching for her appears to be using either a Kimber 1911 or a M45A1 that's just black. We see in the screenshot a Glock. It appears to be a Glock 17 with a auto sear on the back to convert it to full auto. So I wonder how deep the gun customization is going to be in the game, because that is a custom finish on that Glock style handgun. We can see here again another either Kimber 1911 or an M45A1. I'm leaning more towards an M45A1 because of the serrations on the front of the slide, and also just the way the Picatinny is modeled. So it looks like a all black M45A1 with a Hollow Sun red dot, along with the fact that he is showing absolutely terrible trigger discipline. This picture again confirms that there's a Glock 17 in the game, and you actually get to take a look at the iron sights. They are actually just the official Glock, I think from Gen 1 all the way to Gen 4 iron sights before they were replaced with the 3-dot white sights that you see on most Glocks, unless you have the MOS version of the Gen 5 models. So those other revolvers, I'm pretty sure those are Smith & Wesson. This is really clearly just a Colt Python revolver that this woman is holding, and I wonder if we're going to get different colors for it as well. I'm super hyped about getting an M14 SOCOM, but that's what the guy on the right appears to be holding, and the other rifle appears to be potentially an AR-10, just judging by that magazine size, and the fact they're hunting crocodiles, which crocodiles can be pretty bullet resistant. Again, a bird's eye view, it appears to be a double-barrel shotgun of sorts. I'm not familiar with the double-barreled shotguns, so this guy in the back of the truck appears to be wielding an AR of some sort, or potentially an SMG. Not certain, but it does appear to be a rifle of some kind. I'm going to lean towards a AR-15 or AR-10. So these two hunters appear to be using either Remington 700 bolt-action rifles, or they're like a .22 caliber rifle. I'm going to lean more towards the Remington 700, though. So this image of both Jason and Lucia's revolvers appear to be what I imagined the Smith & Wesson revolvers. So, like I've said before, they appear to just both be different models of a Smith & Wesson revolver. I'm saying a Smith & Wesson 529, potentially, if they're 357 Magnum. And if they're 44, not sure, because I don't deal with revolvers a whole lot. And also the, quote, knife on the side, I'm pretty sure that's a switchblade, not just a regular knife. This image furthers my point about the two handguns being kind of designated for each character, because Lucia's gun is a Glock 17, while Jason's is an M9. Specifically an M9A3, potentially an A4. It looks like an A3 because it doesn't appear to have an optics plate mount on the slide. So I wonder if the M9 or 92FS and the M9A3 are going to be separate guns or skins. I'm leaning more towards skins, though. So this officer on the boat appears to be holding an M4 slightly canted to the side, so I wonder if that's going to be a feature. Jason also appears to be holding a long gun or M4, some sort of rifle of that nature, just judging by the way he's holding it and where he's gripping the handguard on this weapon. And then this officer in a helicopter is also holding an M4 style rifle that appears to be significantly shorter than the rest, possibly if he needed to rappel down. All in all, this image appears to show us multiple configurations of the exact same rifle, so I wonder if we're going to be able to change barrel length. I know we're probably going to be able to put a bunch of different lights and optics on the gun, so I just wonder if we're going to be able to tune the placement of said optics, lasers, flashlights, foregrips, all that. Interesting enough, this picture shows Jason tucking a Glock 17 into his jacket, which is, again, kind of interesting because we've only seen him really with the M9 thus far. I've seen a lot of people call this an Uzi. This is not an Uzi. This is a B&T MP9, specifically the one that's got a rail under it and not the foregrip. I can say this because I own one. That is the same magazine as a B&T MP9, and the muzzle is the exact same. Also, I wonder if we're going to be able to get different scopes, such as iron sights, obviously, red dots, holographic sights, variable scopes like LPVOs or LCAN Spectres of that sort, because that's an EOTech, I think, 558 or 552. I'm not familiar with specifics on EOTechs and optics and stuff, but that is a holographic sight on that gun. This appears to be a super modded out M4. It's pretty short, so I'd say this is a Mark 18 style weapon, like with the barrel length. It has a Magpul stock. I'm pretty sure specifically the MOE or the CTR stock. And the handguard appears to be a Daniel Defense style handguard, but there is a ring around the, I forgot what they're called, but that separates the handguard from the receiver. So I don't think it's a Daniel Defense specifically, but I could be wrong. It does appear to be such a handguard that is kind of more on a free float side. Also, he's using P-mags. He doesn't have, and he also has some Magpul iron sights. This appears to just be another M4 variant, and then the officer behind him, I'm pretty sure, is carrying a Kimber 1911 or a M45A1. The recording officer is also carrying a 1911 styled handgun that appears to be super modernized. In this next screenshot, that appears to also be a 1911, more government styled, I say, instead of the one that has a Novak rear sight. But it also has a silver slide, and then also the recording officer appears to also have a M1911 as well. So not sure if these are different versions, skins, or straight up just different models that got changed later down the line. So I don't know if we're going to have a M45A1 and then also a at 1911 government style handgun. So not sure. I almost said a revolver, but so it appears Lucia is carrying a Glock that looks significantly closer to the actual Glock, but this is from Trailer 1, so they could have changed the model later for copyright reasons. And then Jason is also wielding a M9 Beretta. Lucia appears to be holding a MP5 specifically with straight magazines. Those do exist. And I think they're kind of ugly. Also, I don't know why the stock on both MP5s are at the second shortest position, the position before it's completely collapsed forwards. So, and then Jason's MP5 has a HK claw mount and a little aim point red dot on it. So both the forwards officers appear to be carrying M4s, and then the officer in the back appears to be carrying a M45A1 with a flashlight on the bottom, and he's also flagging the hell out of his guys. Jason shooting a M9 outside the window. Also, I noticed how good the gunshot sound effects are, so I hope they're as punchy and realistic in-game as they are in the trailers. Again, Jason with an M9. This appears to be an MGL-32, which is also in GTA 5. I wonder what other heavy weapons we're going to get, too. So this was by far my favorite scene to, compile and try to see. So behind the girl, it appears to be multiple iterations of the M14 with varying barrel lengths and potentially a Mini 14. I'd have to see the magazine for that, though. Behind the guy, there's multiple shotguns. There's a double barrel, right above his head, but then behind him looks like Satori 725s and other, hunting guns. The shotgun directly to his shoulder appears to be a semi-automatic, like a Browning Auto 5. And then also a Benelli M4 or M1014 and another shotgun that I'm pretty sure is a Remington with a LE stock. And the rifle he's actually holding is either a Mark 47, which is a 7.62 by 39 millimeter variant of the M4, made by CMMG, or it's a AR-15 with a super extended magazine. I'm pretty sure that looks like a 60 rounder. So the girl to the left appears to be holding an RPG or some other high explosive weapon. It's really hard to tell. The guy is carrying an M249 squad automatic weapon. I'm pretty sure that is the Mark II variant of the M249. And then the girl to his right is carrying another AR-15, maybe an AR-10. Behind him, there is multiple AK variants. It looks like an AKM, an AKSM, and other AKs. Multiple AR-15 variants. I'm pretty sure maybe in HK416. I see MP5s, MP9s, and I think maybe Scorpion, VZ61 Scorpions, and Tech DC9s. So, not sure. It's really hard to tell on those firewalls, but there's multiple iterations of the M4 I can see. And also multiple MP5 models. Finally, with this last screenshot, I can't really tell what gun this is, but just based on the fire rate being decently fast, and also the fact that this person is stand holding the gun and firing it at a helicopter, I'm assuming it's just a M4 or just another AR-15. Just also judging off of the sound effect used for when it is firing and the muzzle flash not being super big. So yeah, I made a 20-minute video talking about guns because I was tired of people getting them wrong. Call me a perfectionist, but I like when people are informed of what specific guns are. So I appreciate if you watched it to the end. This is one of my longest videos I've ever composed, and it is a commentary video of me talking about guns that are in a video game that's coming out in less than 5 months. So I know I'm going to play the hell out of the game, and I know I'm going to have a lot of fun with the game, especially with weapons, vehicles, like the mainly the military style vehicles, because there is appears to be AH-6 helicopters, like the Little Birds, and other vehicles of that nature with the police and stuff. So I can't wait to see how that works. I can't wait to see how the police AI operate. Like, there's a lot of things I'm super excited for to see in GTA 6. But mostly the weapons, because GTA 5's weapons were downright abysmal, especially when you got to specifics on how certain guns worked and how closely they resembled to real guns, which can't even blame them. It was 2013, and they were making a very large open sandbox, and they only had 5 years to develop it. GTA 6 is shaping up to be one of the, appears to be the best, having the best modeled guns out of, even rivaling Call of Duty with their recent gun models in Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3, along with Black Ops 6, Black Ops 7, and hopefully Modern Warfare 4 doesn't fall into that same category. Hoping, because I also really want to play that. So if they're gonna go all in on the fake gun names and branding, which it appears they are, because the Glock 17 has been named the K17, and I forgot what Jason's M9 is, specifically the M9A3 that he had in the that one picture with the pool and both handguns laying there. So, yeah, sorry for the super long outro. I just wanted to clarify a lot of things. More short films are on the way. Currently compiling and editing one right now. And yeah, so should see y'all in the next short film or one of these videos if Rockstar decides to drop more trailers. So yeah, see you guys.